in a child's pose. Now, you don't need anything underneath you, but if you're on hard floor, you might want to take a towel or a yoga mat or something like that underneath you. So I'm going to start big toes together, knees go wide. Just going to walk yourself out and try and keep your bum grounded. See if you can come all the way down and into a child's pose. And so once you get into position, your head might not be all the way on the floor, that's fine. You might be up on the elbows, and that's great too. What we're looking for is a stretch for our lower back especially. So the bum stays grounded, and then from there we're going to grow. So we're going to open up lower back. I'm going to open up all the way down the armpits. And just take a little moment here, a couple of deep breaths. And in doing so, just allowing the dust to settle. And so unlike our workouts, we can't take the same mentality towards our stretching. We don't want to go hard. We want to really make sure that we're looking after our body. And so you really need to ask yourself as you move through the postures, you really got to keep checking in with how it feels. And obviously, if it feels a little bit too tight, I want you to back it off. It's one of those situations where backing off just means that you'll gain a little bit more tomorrow. So I want you to take it easy with the stretches. We never want to force anything. And sometimes it's just a matter of giving it a little time. So the more time you take in the posture, the more the body's going to open up. Okay, so from here, let's take our right arm, thread it through. So come down onto the right shoulder and extend the left arm out in front. So as if you're looking up under the armpit. Palm faces up. Just going to stretch out the back of the shoulder, which is often a really tight spot for a lot of people, especially if you've done upper body today. And so again, just checking in with how it feels. Just a couple more breaths. And then slide that hand in. Just take it straight over to the other side. And you thread the left arm through. Take the right arm out in front. And so there's a slight rotation to the thoracic spine, as well as the stretch for the lower back. And also you might feel a little bit of contraction into the hips here. And just a couple more breaths. The breath should be long and slow, steady. And then slide the hand in towards you and come on up. Beautiful. So let us take our right leg out in front. We're going to take our hands either side of our front foot. So just sinking the hips here. You might want to take a little draw back and then sink the hips. Just want to find a place that's comfortable. So we don't need to sink the hips too deeply if that doesn't feel good for you. Beautiful. And then we're going to step onto that foot. I'm going to bring the hands up. So we want to have our ankle underneath our knee. We want to sink the hips as much as is comfortable. So you can be all the way back out here, or you can be really sinking the hips down. That's going to depend on you and your flexibility. So here is where using our strap might feel nice. Let's do that to begin to open up the shoulders. So you grab the strap, inhale to lift the arms up, and on the exhale, slide those arms back behind you. Inhale, lift it up, and exhale, take it down. Beautiful. Again, inhale. And exhale, open. So we're trying to take the arms back without bending the elbow in. And exhale down. Again, inhale, sweep up. Exhale, take it back. Nice. In. And out. I want to do one more like that. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, take it back, open the chest. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. Leave the strap down where it is. Pull the hips back. Now, if this is too much for you, you can place your hands up on some blocks here. That could be great. So inhale nice and long through the spine. And then exhale, melt your forehead towards your shin. I'm going to keep that moving for a second. Inhale, take it up. And exhale, melt it down. And so we're just getting a sense of what's going on in the hamstrings. Inhale. Exhale down. What's going on in the lower back? Inhale. Exhale down. And just one more like that. In. And exhale. Take it down. Lovely. Holding here now for just a little moment. Feeling the length of that hamstring. Want to keep reaching the heart forward, so heart towards the foot. Beautiful. And then we're going to turn that foot out to the side and place the pinky toe on the floor and fold the chest down. And lift the toes back towards the sky and then press the toes to the floor and fold. Oh, a bit stronger. Awesome. And then lift the foot. Internally rotate the foot, so in towards the midline, and then place it down and fold. It's a bit awkward, this one. And sometimes my bum swings a little bit out to the side, but that's okay. So we're going to get a stretch all the way down the outside of the leg, which is not an area that we stretch all that often. So it's pretty sensational. Awesome. Bring the foot back up and take the hands, walk them either side of the front foot. I'm going to take our right arm forward and up, just windmill it around and back. Just a little bit of movement for the shoulder. Inhale. Which already feels good from the work we did with the strap. Inhale. Exhale back. 2 more. In. And out. Nice. And in. And out. Reach that arm back. Now, bend up the back leg if you can and grab a hold of the foot. So here is another place where, especially if your quads are tight, you might take your strap, lasso your foot, and use that to gently draw the leg in. So we want to keep sinking the hips. And this is, of course, opening that shoulder as well, which is nice. Beautiful. Release it. Come on out. Let's just come for a moment. Tuck your toes under and sit your bum back. See if you can bring all your toes apart. Slide the knees forward. Sit up nice and tall. And just take a couple of breaths. So we're going to come to the other side in just a minute. But let's start just stretching out the feet, which is another area that we often forget about. We're standing on them all day. They do heaps of work for us. Now, if you've got really open feet, I'm not a great example of that, unfortunately, you can really slide your knees out in front. Remember my old yoga teacher used to be able to put the tops of his feet on the floor. I can't demonstrate that for you, I'm afraid. So we just want to slide those knees out to really stretch out behind the toes, tops of the feet. All right, not much longer. Just remember to breathe. Amazing. Come on out and just gently tap out the feet. Great. You're going to need your strap, so take that across in front of your mat. And this time we're going to step our left foot forward. Or if you did the left foot last time, then the right foot. And so we're going to start just by rocking the hips. So we sink the hips forward and we draw them back. We sink them forward. So we're just feeling it out. Beautiful. And then we're going to come to stand on that foot. And grab a hold of our strap and come on up and into the lunge. So just getting a sense of it. Remember, you can sink the hips as much as you like. You can pull the hips back depending on where you're at, how you're feeling. I'm going to grab that strap. I'm going to inhale the arms up and exhale, take them back and see if you found a little bit more range. Inhale, exhale. Now with this one, you can always walk the hands closer together, but what we want is, as we take the arms back, is not to have to bend the elbows. I'm going to keep it straight. So if you need to slide the hands a little wider, that's fine too. Inhale, take it up, and exhale, take it back. Inhale up, exhale back. Just one more, I think. Inhale and exhale. And then in and out. Place that strap back at the front of your mat. Draw your hips back. And then inhale nice and long through your spine. And exhale, take a little fold. And we're going to keep that moving. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, little fold for 2. In. Exhale, melt it down for 3. In. And exhale down for 4. Last one, in. And then exhale, melt it down, soften down as far as you can. Lengthen out the neck. Draw the ears away from the shoulders. Beautiful. And draw those toes back towards you and roll to the pinky toe side of the foot and place it down on the floor. And then see if you can fold. So this is going to take that stretch into the outer seam of the leg. And then lift it up and now place the toes down. So we're going to get a stretch in the top of the foot and up into either side of the tibia. Beautiful. It's almost giving me cramps, that one. Lift the foot and then internally rotate. So big toe side of the foot angles in. And we want to press the ball of the toe into the floor. And then we're going to fold down. So this one's going to get into the IT band, outer hip, outer seam of the leg. Fantastic. And then lift it up. You're going to sink the hips again, step onto that foot. You're going to ground down through your right hand and take your left arm just on a little bit of a tour. So we inhale, lift it up. We exhale, sweep it around and back. That's 2. Inhale, forward and up. Follow the hand with your eyes. This is going to get a little stretch for the neck. In and out. Take it back. And last time, in. And then exhale, take it back. And we're going to bend up that back foot, sink in the hips. So, of course, you can use your strap here to draw that foot in. Good, strong stretch for the quads. Nice opener for the shoulder. Beautiful. And then gently release. We're going to come on out. So let's bring ourselves to sit. Just going to check in with the hips, see how they're doing. Soles of the feet together, knees go wide. And I know this feels silly and a little bit like school, but I want you to bounce your knees just a little bit up and down. This is going to encourage some fresh blood flow into the hip flexors and into the bowl of the pelvis. Just a little bit of bouncing, we can begin to get a little bit more velocity, as if we're going to take off. But it's a really nice little massage into those hip flexors. Feels good. Beautiful. Then just let them release. We're going to sit up nice and tall. And let's take the hands and just gently press the forearms down onto the knees. Now your knees might be all the way up here, and that's cool. That's great. Just gently press them a little wider. Your knees might be all the way flat to the floor. Fantastic. Doesn't really matter. We just want to see if we can open up a little bit more. Great. So we're going to begin to creep the hands out in front, and that might be a no-go for you. Once again, you just got to go with how you feel in your body. I just want to reach the hands out so we get a bit of a stretch for the lower back. And think about putting your heart onto the soles of the feet. Just a little bit longer. Amazing. Come on up. Beautiful. Take your feet a little bit wider than your hips and just windshield wiper the feet from side to side. Great. Awesome. Okay. Let's take our left leg long and our right knee in towards the chest and drop that knee out to the side. So we'll come into Janushirshasana. So you might use your strap here, take it around the foot, use it to sit up nice and tall, and then to gently take the chest towards the foot. Now if you can easily grab a hold of the foot, do that. If you can easily grab it, cross the elbows and then cross the hands, and then bend the elbows. But see if you can come down nice and squarely over that leg. Now, if you've got any knee issues, roll up a towel and just place it under that knee is going to offer some nice support. And so again, long, deep breaths. Breathing really helps us to get a little bit deeper into our stretches. And sometimes we can feel an area that's tight and imagine that we can actually breathe space into that area. And even though it sounds kind of woo-woo, it seems to work. We find that space and then we move into it. And use an inhale to lift you out of it. And just take a moment. Great. So we're going to turn our foot around to face back behind us. I'm going to come on an angle so you can see this one a little bit better. So foot faces back. And we want to make sure that the foot's not sickling out to the side. That's no good for our ankle. We want the foot just to press straight back behind. We're going to take a little lean back. So this is going to open up the top of the quad, but also into the hip flexor. And so I feel like my pelvis is very much on a tipped kind of angle, and that might be the case for you too. What you want to try to do is use the muscles inside to draw it down. So I feel like I'm kind of rolling out to my left side. I want to draw that hip down as much as we can. Now, for many people, this is going to be well and truly enough. So feel free to stay there. For others, you might be able to come down a little deeper, maybe onto your elbows. And for others, you might be able to come all the way to the floor. Now, if you can get all the way to the floor, I want you to cross your hands and take the arms overhead. And so as we do that, just trying to keep that knee grounded. So whenever we stretch our quads, in yoga, it's a back bend. And this is definitely that. I'm definitely feeling the back bend all the way down here. So just feeling that, noticing what's going on. Notice where you feel the stretch. And it's really important that there's no sharp sensation, especially around the knee here. Awesome. To come out of that, just slide the hands under your lower back if you're all the way down. Press the palms into the floor and bring the chin to the chest and come on up. So you're going to cross your right foot over your left leg and then hug that right knee in and take a little look back over your right shoulder. So we're getting a spinal twist. Yeah, awesome. And then come on out, release it down, and just give the legs a little shake out. We're going to take that to the other side. So we're going to bring the left knee in. I'm going to face towards the camera. Left knee in, hug it in, and then sole of the foot to the inner thigh and let the knee drop out to the side. Again, rolling up a towel and placing it underneath that knee, nice and supportive if you've got any knee issues. And sit up nice and tall. You might use your strap around the foot, or you might just be able to fold forward. If folding forward's easy, you're going to cross the hands and you're going to bend the elbows, and that's going to draw you a little closer down and also bring you a little bit more square to the leg. So if you're using your strap, you might still be sitting up quite tall. If that's the case, think about being nice and straight through the spine. Really doesn't matter how deep we get towards the leg. What we want is a nice stretch on the whole back side of the leg, and then we want a beautiful long spine. And so wherever you're at, enjoying that. Keep relaxing the shoulders down and back. Keep the breath moving. So to come out of it, we take a deep breath in. And then we rock onto our right glute, and we're going to swing that left leg around behind. So the foot faces back. And we make sure that we're not sickling that foot, it's not sticking out to the side. And initially we just lean back and we assess where we're at. So I feel like there's even more of a lean happening this side. So I'm going to take it a little bit slowly in coming down. And so if this is where you are and you just want to stay here, that's perfectly cool. If you want to come down a little onto the elbows, that's great. If you want to come all the way to the floor, fantastic. Just listening to your body. So I'm trying to use the muscles inside that right hip, inside that left glute, left side, and drawing that down towards the floor. So I'm trying not to be quite so pitched on an angle, but that's just what's happening. And if you're all the way down, you're going to cross the hands and take them up and overhead. Just enjoying this back bend. So to come out of this one, palms face down under your lower back, press into them and roll on up. And then step that left foot on the outside of the right leg. You're going to wrap the arm around, take the hand back behind and find that rotation. But whenever we twist the spine, we want to make sure that's up nice and tall first. Awesome. And then release that. Grab hold of your strap. We are going to come down to the floor. Just checking how I'm going here. Okay, so we're going to lie down. You're going to take your strap, wrap it around your foot, right foot first. And then gently draw that leg in towards you. So if you're really tight in the hamstrings, you're going to keep that left foot bent up. If not, you're going to extend it out and just gently draw that leg back. Now, I'm a fan during this stretch of a little PNF stretching. So we're going to make it a little bit active. We've got the strap around the ball of the foot and not the center, not the arch of the foot. And you're going to pull your toes back towards you, using that strap to draw the leg back. And then as if you're trying to point your toes, you're pushing the ball of the foot into the strap. So there's a two-way stretch. There's a pull from the hands and there's a push from the foot. I'm going to hold that, and then we're going to release it and see if we can come a little bit deeper. So see if that finds us a little bit more space in the hamstring. And let's do that again. So actively drawing that leg in towards you, at the same time pushing with the ball of the foot, getting long, 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 long. And then release it. See if you found a little bit more space. I certainly am. And then one more time. Pull with the hands, push with the foot, stretch, stretch, stretch. And gently release. Awesome. So take both sides of the strap now into your right hand. You're going to take your left arm out to a T, and you're going to take your leg out to, so right leg out to right side. So we're going to get a stretch through the adductors, the inner thighs here. Lovely, and then bring that leg back to center. I'm going to switch it to the other side. So left hand grabs a hold, right arm to a T, bring that leg in towards you, and then across the body. So we're not lifting all the way up just yet, although we will in a moment. But to start with, we just take it across so we get more into the IT band and into the outside of the hip. And this is much stronger than it looks. If you feel compression in your hip, you can take your thumb, slide it into that hip crease, and gently press the leg away. So press the leg that way at the same time it's drawing across the body. That's intense. You should give that a try. And then we're going to roll up and let that foot come across a little more, still not to the floor. If the foot can come to the floor, it can come higher towards your face. So I'm going to keep lifting it up, 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 up at the same time. Amazing. And then let's come back to center. And release that leg down. Oh, wow. And just take a moment. Feel the difference between the two sides. So hopefully your right leg feels longer. Hopefully we found a bit more space there. Just close down the eyes. Let's do a little mapping from the hips down. And then, like me, if your left leg now feels really short, you're probably keen to get that one stretched too. So let's bring it up. And initially it's going to feel a little bit heavier because we've just made the right leg feel so good. So just softly, gently drawing the leg towards you. And again, you might need to lift that leg up, especially initially. You know, we always want to be sweet to ourselves. So we gently draw that leg back. And then we'll begin, as it feels okay, to make it a little bit more active. So pressing the ball of the foot into the strap at the same time that you're drawing that leg towards you. So it's really active. And then release it, let it be soft. And then we'll go again, we'll press the ball of the foot into the strap. So actively two-way stretch. Pulling with the hands, pushing with the ball of the foot. And all the muscles along the back of the leg are active. And then release, let them be soft. And then last time like that, really pressing, drawing the leg towards you, and then release and relax. That's fantastic. You can definitely feel that difference there. So then taking both straps into the left hand, take your right arm out to a T. The leg comes towards you and then opens out to the side. So again, we don't want that foot to come all the way to the floor. We want it to get as high as we can. And our aim is to stretch out that gracilis, that kind of ropey muscle on the inner thigh. And again, we never want to push too hard. Hopefully you'll come away from this just feeling like you've created a bit more length in the body, a bit more space. And that anywhere that was tight, hopefully gets a little bit more open. And so bring that leg back to center and switch hands. So right hand grabs a hold, left arm's going to come out to a T, and initially the leg just comes across the body a little. So we want to get a little stretch into the outside of the thigh, the IT band, maybe a little into the hip. And I think I'm yet to meet a person who's not tied in the IT band if they do sport, any sport. It's just a little strip of fascia that ends up getting a little bit tight. The more that we use the rest of the muscles around it. Okay, so take that leg now across a little bit more and then look back over your left shoulder. So this one's more of a spinal twist. We've got the head looking one way, we've got the spine rotating the other way. And you want to kind of think of it like you've grabbed a wet sponge and you're kind of twisting opposite ways just to wring it out. And what that does for our spine is when we release it, invites in a whole lot of fresh blood and enlivens and invigorates the body. And slowly come back to center. Amazing. Let the leg go long. Just take a moment. So just lying down, just feeling the legs, the butt, all of that. So while we're lying here, we're going to take the right arm up. We're going to bend the hand in behind. So what we're trying to do is to take the hand in between the shoulders, and then we're going to take the other arm up, and we're just going to lie on it. So we don't need to actually make connection with the hands. And take one hand behind the head and the other one up the back. We're just going to take a moment to lie on them. We want to try to soften the elbows. And you've got the hands, one hand sort of between the shoulder blades and the other one in the middle of the back. So it's creating a bit of a back bend, a little bit of a heart opener. And a little bit of a stretch for the shoulders. Okay, and then we're going to take ourselves out of that one and we're going to take that to the other side. So the other hand comes up and behind the head in between the shoulders, and then we're going to roll the other one in the middle of the back. And we're just going to hold here for a minute. This is quite a good one for the hands as well. Beautiful. And then release it. So final little one. We're going to take a little number 4 stretch. Right ankle up onto left knee. I'm going to reach through and grab a hold. So you might just be holding behind the thigh, or you might be taking it all the way to the shin, or maybe you're really tight in the glutes and you just want to take the number 4 with that left foot still on the ground. All those options are fantastic. So whichever one is working for you today. if your legs are off the floor, if your feet are off the floor, I want you to flex them. And that's just going to help to keep them active. And when they're active, just less likely to hurt yourself. But it also makes it a little bit more intense. So when our feet are flexed like this, it's really good to support our knee. But it also makes the butt stretch that much sweeter. Yeah. Awesome. Switch it over to the other side. So left foot on top. This is sort of level 1, behind the thigh level 2, to the shin level 3. Just really depends on your flexibility and how open you are. And for most of us, we spend way too much time sitting, and so our butts are often weaker than they should be. The muscles are all lengthened. Beautiful. Nice. So then let's just come on up. And what we haven't done is a lateral stretch. So let's take our legs out, not as wide as you go, just about sort of 60%. And let's take a little lean over towards your left side. So reach the right hand up and over. And find length all the way to the fingertips. And see if you can rotate your heart up towards the sky. Beautiful. And then let's take it straight over to the other side. And so find that side bend. Amazing. And then up. And then rock your hips side to side just to free up some space around your sit bones. And slowly come forward. And really think about lengthening out through the crown. I'm going to come back in, bend at the knees and bring the soles of the feet together. And we're going to come back to where we started and just notice the difference. So this time I want you to open the feet up like the pages of a book. So turn the soles of the feet towards the sky, sit up nice and tall, take an inhale. And on the exhale, press with your elbows, reach your heart forward. Once again, we're trying to put our heart onto the soles of our feet. And draw the tips of the ears away from the shoulders. Beautiful. And then come back up. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you found that useful. I hope that you feel good and that you've created a lot of space in the body. Now, let me know how you found it.